Spotify, and online at rocklandnews.com. Thanks for joining us today. Here are your hosts, Tom Osa and Mike Kluger.
Coming up today on Rockland's AM Rockland's News, Envision Rockland plan opens for public review. A Haverstraw man is charged after a Nyack Library altercation that occurred last week.
I went to Pearl River with Tom and we interviewed Neil Acer of Defiant Brewery.
Yeah, and it was a really cool time. We're going to have a lot of news to talk about today, including all the things that happened at the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
And all of our amazing sponsors.
That's right. So we're going to get right into it. Let me just turn off the music once and for all, and then we'll start talking about it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today.
It is Wednesday.
That's right, baby. That's right.
And it's not freezy, but it's not warm.
Yes, exactly.
It is still, what does that old radio DJ call it? Sweater weather.
Mike, what do you want to do the weather?
The hippy dippy weather with the hippy dippy weather guy, right? So I got your hippy dippy weather, man. It's supposed to make it to 51 degrees today, low of 32. Tomorrow will be even warmer. We're almost to 70 degrees. Friday drops again. Do I see a snowflake? Snowflakes on Friday? That's not.
It is Rockland.
Yeah. Wait 2 seconds. The weather will change. Saturday, March wants you to remember that it is still March, and it's going to drop you down to 37 degrees for the high.
37?
And then bounce back up. In a week, we're hitting 70 again.
Good.
Mother Nature is drunk.
Yeah, it's about that time where basically the weather is all over the map. Mike, I don't talk about stuff that happens outside of Rockland ever.
Because that's not what this show is about. And I try and remind you that all the time.
Except in the South right now, it's like 90 degrees in like Texas.
What does Texas grow other than foolish folk?
The what?
I'm like, well, if it was Florida, I'd be like, are the oranges happy? If it's Cali, is the weed happy? I mean, you don't know anything about that cannabis or anything.
I don't know anything about this cannabis.
Actually, that's not true anymore. Tom cannot say that. And you know why? Because we did our very first live stream podcast from 202 Cannabis. And you can see that, listen to that show on Rockland News.
That's correct. Yeah. So we did the live stream on last Friday after work. We was like, Mike, let's jump in the car. Let's head over there.
So, Tom, why don't you tell the listeners what you learned? Because you have not known anything about all this cannabis thing.
Yeah.
And you learned from many of the bud tenders, and even the owner came over, said hello. Like, everybody was so inviting. The place is so clean. And the turnover, like from a customer thing, was really quick. As I was watching that while you were interviewing.
Is there a question in here anywhere?
No, the question is, what did you learn about this cannabis thing?
I've decided today I'm going to be the evil interviewer person.
Evil?
So
you're not evil.
You can be the good guy. I'm going to be the bad guy. You know I love you, but
I'm the hippie and you're the suit.
I'm going to be the guy like in front of the congressional meeting. He's like, is there a question in there? All right. So we went to 202 Cannabis, located in Garnerville, New York. And we'll do our other sponsors in a moment, but this was like a special spot that we did last Friday for our new show in the afternoon. It's called OK Rockland.
And we want to tell you everything that's okay in Rockland. And what that means, it has the Osa Kluger seal of approval as something cool to do.
And wait for those stickers. We're getting those stickers, the OK Rockland seal of approval. But we went to 202 Cannabis. And like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know anything about this cannabis
But
stuff.
now you do.
Just don't. But I learned. I really learned. I walked in there, suit and tie, was very intellectually curious about the establishment. And again, just to try to paint the picture for you, ladies and germs, it's an old bank. It's TD Bank was sold, and 202 Cannabis went in there, and they have a vault. We didn't see the vault. But the vault,
we didn't. We need a tour.
There's a vault that holds all the material. So that way, if somebody runs in with a water gun and they're like, give me all your flour, and everybody behind the counter would be like,
Tom,
dude, do you want
coffees have you had
today? Want Maui Wowie or some Labrador, man? You know? So basically, you know, and again, from a very intellectually curious standpoint. So we sat down, with the podcast mic and the laptop. And we actually, Mike, we had some really good interviews with people that told us a lot about this cannabis thing.
Right. They were very informative. Tom came from a place of cluelessness. I happen to have some experience with this product.
Cluelessness.
And I learned some things. And I have been around this industry for quite a long time, not just from a place of cannabis, but like heavy gardener. So like I'm interested in the
greenery.
Not just the greenery, but the New York State agriculture of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Right. One of the things I love about this.
Certified and so on and so forth. There's a lot that goes into it.
Well, and it really helps the infrastructure of what New York State is trying to do, which helps us in Rockland, because the more tax money that's generated, the more money there is to do things like put guardrails in, Pat Carroll.
Yeah, seriously.
I had to.
No. Hey, listen, we're done with the Admiral's Cove thing largely, as far as like, because the property management, they changed property managers, so we can start going back to the thing that we mentioned. I'm still gonna hang out with Admiral's Cove to learn more.
And I wanted to remind our listeners that if you live in an apartment building and you and your fellow residents are having a hard time getting solutions to the problems, please reach out to us at rocklandnews.com /alerts. Is that correct, Tom?
Correct. /alerts.
Alert. Like Eli Manning used to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
So listen, all of our listeners, I encourage you, if you have friends who are having issues, come to us. We want to be the voice of Rockland for you. We want to make just the injustices that we can do. And one of the injustices that I see is
it's a really great video game.
Is Main Street USA. The businesses of Main Street USA are getting swallowed up by Big C Corporation, Wall Street, and I would like to fight that power, because I know, Tom Osa, and you know that 61 cents of every dollar spent on a local business stays in the community.
It does.
We want our community to be strong, and you have to be fiscally strong. We should be. What is it? The part of the Boy Scouts, it was physically strong, morally straight, and mentally awake, or something along those lines.
Okay.
We need some version of that for Rockland County.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. After 1.5 cups of coffees, I am still not mentally awake.
Well,
but we're doing what we can. We're
keeping it caffeinated.
Yes, keeping it caffeinated.
Now, if you have gotten to a place where you are done with your morning routine and the hunger pains are hitting, and you happen to be in Pearl River, let me tell you, they have a fantastic pizzeria there. Tom and I went to go visit Pearl River Pizzeria. We met up with Frank, and it was like being time traveled back to my time in 1980s Half a Straw. Frank happens to be a Half a Straw guy working in Pearl River in the pizza industry for
30 years, man.
Right, 3 decades, right?
Yeah. And by the way, they're located at 137 North Middletown Road. You can learn more about them at pearlriverpizzeria.com.
And you can hear more about our interview at rocklandnews.com.
Correct.
But I just wanted to say that their traditional slice was amazing. Their grandma slice, like, out of this world. And I happen to be a very, very picky pizza person, because we have a lot of choice here in Rockland. We have a lot of pizza places to go to.
Yeah.
And we should not have to suffer with bad pizza.
Right, exactly. And I got this vision while I was there, because quite frankly, I sat down. I didn't even really do many questions. You were the one that just took the interview and ran with it. I was just stuffing my face with pizza.
Well, I mean, I have a curiosity about Rocklanders, which goes back to the point that I want to hear from everybody. So listeners, if you have a small business and you would like to tell your story to me, I want to hear it and talk to Tom about it on the air.
rocklandnews.com /alert.
Alert.
Just one alert.
I mean, but what if the defense is going to blitz?
Well, in that case, then you have to go to rocklandnews.com /live to check out all of the reporting that we do on that blitz.
And then call.
We have a sports guy now.
Tom Brady.
Who
does not say alert.
He's going to be on Friday, and he's going to be recapping the Suffern High School men's hockey team victory, state championship.
Most
they won.
excellent.
Plus,
Congratulations,
Albertus Magnus High School, my kind of alma mater. I mentioned this last night, but it's not really alma mater because I was only there for 3 years, then went to North Rockland High School to do the food fight in my senior year.
The food fight.
Which is actually true. It's actually true. There was a food fight. It was beautiful. It was right before Christmas.
I'm going to blame Thea Chimino because I know she's in your class.
But to the point, Albertus Magnus, the women's varsity basketball team, they won the AAA
fantastic
state championship. So Tom Brady, who's all things sports, that's the name of his show. He's going to be on Friday to talk about that. It's going to be pretty awesome. And so Pearl River Pizza, I mean, they got a pledge pin.
Well, going back to the sports thing for just a second, and beckoning our listeners to give us the information that they want to hear. Correct. Tell us what you want to hear. And if you have something to report, your daughter just won her game and they shut out blah, 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 blah. We want to hear about that too. We are collecting the information as fast and the best way we can. But having eyes and ears from our listeners is really helpful.
Absolutely.
Because it builds a strong community.
It really does.
And that goes back to our pizza conversation, because there is nothing more of an anchoring thing than walking into a local pizza shop. It's for the young, it's for the old. It's not like a hooligan hangout. It's not like, don't get me wrong. I love going to the bar. I love going to the brewery. Noble Experiment, Defiant, District 96, the Beer House, Round Table. Love all that stuff. Also, very strong community-oriented folk. But the pizza shop, everybody goes to the pizza shop.
Exactly.
They even got pizza shops now for people who can't have pizza because they're making it all gluten-free and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the Pearl River Pizzeria was just such a classic, traditional place.
Yeah.
Right. I was watching the youth come in and out. We were having the pizza was just fantastic, and it just felt so
warm and inviting. Yeah. Plus, you got the video game on the side of the
place. Oh my God, they had an arcade game, and it took me back to being at Vito and Richie's in Haverstraw in like 1985.
Right? Yeah. Mine was right next to my grandfather's bike store, like right on Route 9W. He had the bike store, and I mention this often because I'm big on branding. You know, obviously, the name's Rockland News and Rockland Shopping, Rockland Events.
Because we're all about Rockland.
Huge sign up on top of like the strip mall that basically said bicycles, sales, repairs, and that was it.
Yeah, but explain what he did.
Clear and to the point.
Right.
So that's where he had the bike store for, at least like 10, 15 years. And then, so I used to go there after school. I was over at Immaculate Conception. My grandmother would pick me up, drive me back to the bike store, and then I'd work for a few hours under my grandfather's tutelage. Okay. Next door.
So are you a bike expert?
I don't want to call myself a bike expert, but I can definitely true a wheel. I can get the gears.
Hold on, I don't even know what true wheel means.
So basically, like, let's say if you're a bicycle, and by the way, just to finish up the pizza place, Trinity Pizza was right next door before it is what it is now. Trinity Pizza, they had a video game there. They had really great pizza, and then on the other side was Ryan's Tavern. Talk about that another time.
Oh, right.
So, truing a wheel is essentially if you had a BMX bike at some point or another.
It wasn't BMX, but yes.
Did the wheel ever get bent? Like a little bit, so it was rubbing up against the brakes?
I can't say that I did, but I had a grandfather who, during the Great Depression, would go to the junkyard, grab all the bicycles, and build bicycles and sell them. Cool. So he would just tinker with my bike. I wouldn't even know, and it would just ride better all the time. So I was spoiled in that way,
Okay, all right, I understand. So the wheel, if the wheel gets bent after hitting bumps or rocks, whatever. Truing the wheel involves turning the various spokes that go around the bike so that it bends the wheel one way or another. And it really is an art because there's a certain amount of physics involved in that there's tension between the spokes on the opposite side. So if you tighten the spoke on one side of the wheel, you're supposed to tighten a spoke on the other side of the wheel, all the way at the other end of the wheel.
Okay.
So
Balancing the force.
balancing the force, exactly.
Hold on, is this a job that AI can take away?
I'm sure. Well, eventually, yeah. Eventually. Well, I mean, technically speaking, a lot of that's already been. I mean, that's the thing that actually forced us out of the bike business, is because I mean, all the big market stores were the ones that were running the bikes that like Huffy and Murray and all that stuff. Schwinn got bought.
Okay.
So machines are basically producing that stuff for like 50 years anyway.
So in the maintenance of it,
maintenance might be a little tougher, yeah.
So like it also feels like this is a case of watered down products, right? So the more we get into this big box corporate stuff, the more disposable they want our stuff to be, the more wasteful that becomes. So back in the day when your grandfather was running the bike store, that bike was expected to last you your whole life.
Right.
And now it's, oh, if it's broken, just go get a new one. Or more importantly, oh, it's been 5 years. Here's a new fashionable bike that you have to get. And it's a different shade of red. You can't have the old red. You have to have the new red.
Right. Well, that's I mean, you get a new car advertisement every
5 seconds.
Yeah. So, dude, something happened the other day where I was just like, oh man, here it comes. Do you remember like about, I want to say like about 10 years ago, there was probably a Dodge Charger ad or something. It was a Led Zeppelin song, rock and roll. Been a long time since I rock and roll. And I remember it was either a GMC or a Chevy or something like that, where basically it was like, oh boy, the band sold out.
Right. And it's been happening more and more and more.
Well, I just heard Guns N' Roses' "Welcome to the Jungle" before like a Chevy. Not Axl's voice, but just like the Slash, like. So we got to get some Guns N' Roses in this county before it's not cool.
No. Like I'm thinking of it like this.
Thanks,
the first song that you sung, based on a commercial, was Led Zeppelin, and I don't care what you do to Led Zeppelin, it will always be cool.
I sure hope so.
I don't care how old it gets, and I have some friends who are much younger than me, and they're into some really, really cool older music, and I had to check myself because I'm like, the music that I really, really love, like my most favorite music artist, Jimi Hendrix, was dead before I was born.
I know.
So
same here.
There's nothing wrong with liking older music, because the reason why it lasts is because it's so good. People still listen to Mozart and Beethoven. Those dudes have been dead for hundreds of years.
I still do.
Right? So I really encourage the young folk to listen to the classics, because at one point I was a young folk and I was still listening to the classics. They just happen to be older.
Now you're just an old timer.
Well, I'm finding that the music today that's being put out, and granted, there is good music to find that is being played today, and most of it you can find locally, like at Kobe Sushi Jazz Night on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Yes, that's right. We're going to be there tonight at Kobe Sushi because Mike Torres, the well-renowned jazz musician, is going to be
Rockland
back there.
County grown.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And quite frankly, I mean, this is the third time that we've seen him. I actually personally hired him to do a show over at Fiesta Acapulco about 3 or 4 months ago. He was fantastic there. Cool. So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to be hanging out over at Kobe Sushi. And if you mention Rockland's News, ladies and germs, actually no germs on that. If you mention Rockland's News,
gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting used to it. I got to stop. Mention Rockland's News and you get 15% off your entire sushi order, minimum $75, but hey, 15% off. What is that, by the way? So it's $7.50 plus $3.75. So $10.25 off of every. So it goes down to $65.75. That's pretty damn awesome.
Oh, really cool.
I feel good about myself saving that, and also that I could do math this early in the morning.
Now, if you really, really enjoy jazz, and Wednesday and Saturday is not quite enough, Nyack Restaurant to launch monthly jazz series on Fridays. So you can fill up your week with all sorts of live music. You go to Mora's Kitchen on South Broadway.
Mora's Kitchen, South Broadway in Nyack. That's on April 4th, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
All right, so it's a pretty cool thing. I have a whole bunch of news that I got to go over too. Should we do it?
Latin American jazz styles, reservations for the launch.
There's so much going on in Rockland County.
At the restaurant's
make your
website.
head spin.
So, Tom, you're going to put the Mora's Kitchen on our website, right?
It's already on there, amigo. You go to rocklandsnews.com and you can learn more about the jazz that's happening over at Mora's Kitchen in Nyack.
I have to say, I do really like. Now, I am part of the event industry. I've been a stagehand for decades, and I really enjoy the fact that Rockland, and specifically Nyack, is really, really trying to step up their game with their live music. There has been a folk music series at the Angel in Nyack.
Oh, yeah.
You're actually listening to music in a former church. It's glorious.
Nice.
Great place to work. Really nice people. Like, you walk around the place, most people aren't talking about, oh, I can have 3 nights of jazz in my life. That's kind of cool. And if you don't like jazz, there's rock clubs, there's open mic jams at Casa with our dear friend Tito Wilson.
Yeah, absolutely.
You will have sponsored open mic nights and karaoke up here in Stony Point. If any of our listeners are looking to either play out because you've been in your basement, you've been in your garage, you've been playing music, you've been writing some songs, you've been practicing some tunes with your friends, and it's time for you to be like, let's take this to the world. Let's put you in one of our many venues through Sponsor Band.
Absolutely. And Sponsor Band has 35 bands that can play for any sort of event, any sort of style, from jazz to hard metal. And I'm not kidding about that.
Even classical and chamber music.
Classical and chamber music, exactly, because the Rockland County Concert Band.
Not just them, but we want to promote the youth of Rockland County to become real musicians. And we have 11 high schools. Mm-hmm. That means at least 11 music programs that we want some of the cream of the crop of those folks to come and play and be part of Sponsor Band, because that 35 number, that number should be 100 and they should all be employed. That's what I say.
This is very true. It's very true. Speaking of employment, all right, we have also on Rockland's News launched a new jobs website section.
Okay.
And I'm just going to announce this is the live stream. We announced the launch of rocklandjobs.org. Okay, it's a new web service on Rockland's News intended to connect local residents with employment opportunities in Rockland County. According to the report, several jobs had already been posted, including openings connected to Bear Mountain, Montefiore Nyack, home care agencies, as well as, I saw this yesterday, a Parks and Recreation representative up in Bear Mountain. So there's 2 of them there. As well, the site is aimed at strengthening local workforce connections and giving both job seekers and employers another platform focused specifically on Rockland County. And the live stream also, this is our live stream, I'm just reading it. Yeah. Live stream also referenced an existing Facebook group of about 15,000 people tied to the broader effort. And just so you know, that is the Facebook group Rockland Employment, for those looking for work and those looking for employ. And you can check that out. Go on Facebook and look for Rockland Employment, and you'll be able to join. And then people can talk about what sort of jobs that they're looking for. So we're doing it from the supply side and from the demand side.
I find that really important because I think that, and I know that there's this whole headhunter level of business, but I feel like the employers and the possible employees, there's some sort of disconnect these days on why those two can't get together. And I don't really have a firm grasp on why that is, but it seems like there's a lot of people who are looking for jobs and a lot of jobs to be had, and we can't make matches, and I don't know why.
I have a little bit of insight on that, a little bit. And I do have to be a little careful because I do sit on the Workforce Development Board. Yeah. And it's not like it's like secrets or anything like that. It's like it's pretty open. It's their public meetings and everything.
Well, what do they talk about what the answer to that? That being said,
what I find, okay, and I've sat on the Workforce Development Board for about, I want to say 7 or 8 years. I actually donated, our company donated Rockland's Work and rocklandworks.org. We donated those domains to the Workforce Development Board of Rockland County. We also built their first website. But this is what I've taken a step back from the web development side.
Right.
And, there's no financial interest at this point. So it's just like, whatever. This is what I've seen over the last 7 years.
And this is about the disconnect between employers and employees, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They are creating services to help you get prepared to get a job. For instance, job training, counseling services, various services that will help you to get mentally, emotionally, and physically prepared to be part of the workforce. However, I think there's a certain missing of the mark in your typical trade style job. And they are trying to address that too, like tradesmen, unions, and stuff like that. But I'll give you an example. On Rockland Jobs, there was an advertisement for somebody that wants to be a representative in a pool installation company. Okay. Landscapers, contractors, tradespersons.
You mean local businesses?
Local businesses, exactly. Pizza places, park representatives, things like that. Now, that's not to say that those individual businesses aren't going to use rocklandworks.org, and I highly recommend them. That being said, I think that the layers of getting ramped up, they become a lot. It's like, I got to fill out this paperwork and this paperwork.
And I want to address that point. Is if you're a tradesman, why are you expected to be white collar business as well? Because that's a lot of paperwork for someone who just wants to work with their hands.
Yeah. So we decided to simplify the process. If you're going to post a job, you can post it out there on the interwebs. We find it, we load it as is, and then link to their website.
Right.
So you see the job, it's like, oh, I might want to do that. I might want to do some pizza, just making pizzas for the summertime.
Right.
All right.
You know what?
Call the number. Call the number. Hey, you're hired.
You might be Tom Osa and go, you know what? I really want to learn how to make pizzas for my own thing. And I'm gonna want a part-time job making pizzas just so I can learn how to make pizzas.
Exactly.
You could be 53 years old if you want it.
So we're not expecting Rockland Jobs to suddenly have like an offer from Instagram to be the next programmer at Instagram.
We're not looking at that.
Exactly. We're looking like
Rockland. We want to know if
Neil at Defiant Brewery needs bartenders.
Correct.
For instance.
Correct.
The barber shop needs another barber.
Right.
The Rhino Comedy Club has an open mic night, and maybe they need somebody to keep people like me off that stage.
Kobe Sushi needs an audio guy for jazz on Wednesday because their audio guy is sick that day.
Oh, you know what would be awesome?
What
I'm going to
would be
mention that to Joyce tonight. Is we should have a samurai demonstration out in the parking lot while we eat sushi.
Tom, I would like to caution you on culturally insulting somebody.
Whoa! Wait! Hold on, time out. All right.
I'm just cautioning.
How is that insulting? Nobody else does samurai stuff.
They may not do samurai.
That's like no. I'm not saying. Oh man. I'm not saying that Joyce is a samurai.
It'd be cool if she was, though.
But I got to tell you, the food that's over there is like, I mean, they must have master.
She chops and slices as if she was a samurai.
No.
She brings all of the honor to the sushi.
She owns the facility, and she communicates with the guests. She's it's a really warm and friendly atmosphere there. Plus, they got jazz on Wednesdays and Saturday nights. You can have Mike Torres there today. At 6 o'clock, he's going to be playing from 6 to 9 p.m. And we'll be there. Rockland News will also be live streaming.
And don't forget, they throw parties.
They throw parties. We had our holiday Christmas party in December over there. So, yeah, it's a really cool place. I don't know about the samurai thing. And if I was being culturally insensitive, I'm sorry.
I'm just cautioning. I'm just because I don't know myself. I don't know. But in this world of I want Rocklanders to connect instead of disconnect, the best way to do that is to walk up to someone and go, hey, I don't want to be culturally inappropriate. And
but are you a samurai master?
No, and you like, I tell people when I come up with crazy thoughts, I'm like, look, I'm a little off here, but I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm really curious. So can you please explain this to me so I'm not being culturally insensitive to you accidentally? I'm just trying to explore this thought, and I would like the answer.
And I get what you're saying, and I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Mike, but that's a waste of time. Apologizing is a waste of time. Did you see the paradox there? I apologized, and then I said apologizing is a waste of time. I broke a mic. I broke a mic. I haven't broken a mic
in shows, and I can't tell you how many shows.
A month and a half. I have broken a mic. Now, so just
and
as
he
a background,
he got me before I got him today too.
Right. So just as a background, basically, to be perfectly frank with you, God, I say that too much.
But you're Tommy. How can you be perfectly frank?
Yeah. So every once in a while, like Mike just says something that, like, my jaw just drops. And then he goes,
I make him speechless.
I broke a Tommy. I broke a Tommy.
And I do. I have a little song that goes with it and everything. It's great. I do it. Sometimes I do a little dance and I switch my butt. It's great.
It's hot. And and this time I was able to get the jaw drop. And we know when it happens. So high five on that.
High five.
All right.
All right. So hold on. We were talking about
Go ahead, jobs.
You were talking about jobs and more expansive, but the next thing I want to talk about in the news,
okay,
this expands out on that, because economics and economic development is part of the county, right? Mm-hmm. The county opens review period for Envision Rockland plan.
That is correct.
So, Tom, what do you know about that?
All right, so let's go to this. We've been to the comprehensive plan meetings, and it was really cool. Basically, every 10, 15, or 20 years, the county puts out a comprehensive master plan. I think they stopped calling it a master plan because who knows, but now it's the comprehensive.
Because who is the master?
Yeah, I mean,
Leroy.
It's what it is, and it's cool. All right, the comprehensive plan. Now, what this is basically, it's a public review period right now for the draft plan that could actually influence the county's decision making for decades on end. So it's not the rules, but it's the guidelines for how the county will be regulated in certain areas. For instance, residential housing, commercial property, traffic, finances, policing. I mean, you name it, it's in this plan. I believe it was like about 72 pages. I'll have to check that. It's available. If you go to the article on Rockland's News, it talks about the contents of the plan because we read through the entire thing. But it's also available if you go to envisionrockland.com. So the public review period is open right now. You can review it, and you can also write in a comment directly at envisionrockland.com. The plan follows a lengthy public process and addresses major issues, as I mentioned, including housing, transportation, infrastructure, economic development. I'm all a fan of that. Yep. And environmental protection.
Which I'm a fan of.
Yes, exactly. So, and if you have been following the news over the last 10 years, there's a lot of park spaces that have been purchased by the county to keep them as park spaces. So we're at that point where we're just saying, okay, part of this is going to be environmental, part of this is going to be housing and traffic and yada, yada. Plan official, the plan is intended to guide. I'll finish this and then we'll talk.
Well, no. Those park spaces that you just talked about, they're not just green spaces. That's the only thing I wanted to say. That there is some infrastructure on them. Not that there's buildings, but in George Holman was talking about his pickleball courts that he built in one of his parks. So it's not just like go sit under a tree. Mm-hmm. It's you can go play tennis and soccer, and there's like sports stuff as well in many of the towns. Some of them are just green spaces.
Yes.
But the recreational spaces. And that's the point I wanted to make. But continuing on.
Sorry. Yeah. No. I appreciate it. And the residents can review the draft up until April 22nd. And again, the website is envisionrockland.com. And there's another public meeting that is scheduled actually for tonight. I believe it's at 7:00. We're not going to be able to do that because we're going to be at Kobe Sushi. Excuse me. My voice is a little hoarse today, by the way.
You were riding a horse?
Yeah, right. Of course. So apologies on that, but we'll trudge through. And the review period really provides a formal chance to comment on how future growth, development, and public investment, note, that's the state giving us money, should be managed across Rockland County.
Now, is this plan written by Ed Day? Is this by the county legislature? Who is putting forth this plan? Who's pushing this forth?
That's a great question. I will say that I would imagine that the supervisors and the county elected officials might not. They're probably not writing the entire plan, and they obviously have a staff to document what goes in the plan. What I do know is that during that public review period where people showed up in person to these meetings, and again, we were there. We
Mhm.
went to two separate meetings. The specific ones that we went to were in Haverstraw, and it was kind of cool. You walk in, and there were these different boards and easels for environment, infrastructure, safety. There was something for events. What sort
Okay.
of events? I had one, and it wasn't me. One person put a sticky note on there
Okay.
because you could put sticky notes with your suggestions,
Okay.
and she just had in big bold letters, music. So,
Tom, you have been advocating for music in Rockland since we met a decade ago.
probably
and-
unconsciously.
Yeah, I think the cosmos was like, these two Rocklanders must help make more music in Rockland County. And it's not that we play music together;
Mhm.
it's that we help get the Rockland County music scene a flowing. We want all of our musicians to have a safe place to play, to be compensated for their work, while doing what they need to do for the venue, which is make everybody a little bit of money.
Right.
And again, 61 cents of every dollar
Yep.
stays in your community
Stays
if
in
you're
your
doing
community.
that.
Exactly. A lot of stuff.
As much as we love our international rock stars, our international musicians, our Broadway there's something to be said about Rocklanders. And I can say that many of us have become renowned, either because you were in New York City and you got famous and you wanted to have a nicer place to be, and you came to Rockland, or you were born, bred, and raised here, and then you went out and made it big, right?
Right.
So I was at the Nyack Angel a few months ago. And
That's a beautiful space
it
over
is.
there.
It was
really
an old
is
church. An
amazing.
old church turned into a music space. Robert Brown. I had no idea who he was because I'm not a Broadway musical person.
Mhm.
But apparently he's famous, and he's from East Ramapo.
Really?
Yeah.
I was not
So,
aware of this.
like, it's that kind of thing. We can go not too far into our history of Rockland and
Mhm.
find really famous people. And if we really want to stretch and go through history, we can find a lot of famous people. Rockland's been around for a very long
Oh,
time.
sure.
Haverstraw happens to be the oldest town in New York.
Huh.
Its charter started in 1616.
Here's a small list of some of the people that come from Rockland County that are considered famous. And I'm going to just read various individuals here. Walt Weiss from the
Baseball player.
California Angels from back in the day. John Flaherty, actually, I went to school with his brother, Keith Flaherty. John Flaherty is part owner, or he's one of the executives of the New York Boulders baseball team.
Okay.
Now he's in the Yankees organization.
So more baseball.
We got Ken Zabrowski, who was he was an assembly person.
Yeah.
And now he's running the Rockland Business Association. Jack Klugman is actually from Rockland.
Jack Klugman, like who played Oscar Madison in the TV show?
Correct.
I did not know that.
Yep, I'm looking at it right here. Who else? Frank Grillo, the guy from The Punisher.
Oh, okay.
All right. We got actually Ed Day is on this list.
Flo from the Progressive commercials.
Flo from the Progressive commercial, exactly. Chuck Loeb, Rene Auberjonis.
Wait.
Joseph Reynolds. Huh?
Rene, I can't say his last name. That was the dude who played Odo in Deep Space Nine.
Boom. Rene Auberjonis is from Rockland County. And for those of you Star Trek nerds out there, you know the reference, Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Right.
Bill Drescher, Harold Lederman. I mean, there's just a ton of.
There's so much rich history. I was talking to a friend at Defiant, and it was before our interview, and we were saying how, as a young person, you always badmouth Rockland. You're like, I can't wait to get it out of here, blah 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 blah. And then, as you get older, you're like, wait, I have a great state park to one side and one of the greatest cities on the planet
Mhm.
on the other. And it's relatively easy to get to either one. So from a culture place, Rockland's actually like an amazing spot. And if our listeners can help us strengthen sponsor band, we're going to have an awesome music scene.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. So there's a lot going on, and one of the things that we did over the weekend to enjoy some of that music was we interviewed Neil from Defiant Brewery.
Oh, let me tell you about before you showed up. I'm sitting there. I'm tasting my most favorite beer from Neil was this beer called Little Thumper, which he had on tap.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there, I'm talking with my friends, and all of a sudden the parade, well, it was our own little parade because it was just one set of fife and drum. In Defiant, like I had my own pipers. It was great.
Right.
It was so exciting. I'm not even Irish, and I had a good time at the Pearl River Parade.
Yeah, and we got an interview with Neil. We're probably going to post that in like about an hour. We talked about holding up the iPad, but it's probably better to actually put the darn thing on the air and have that. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I have to tell you, Neil's a really down to earth guy. I only met him actually twice, and
I've been friends with Neil for years, and he really believes what we believe. But Tom, what was your initial impressions of?
Yeah, I mean, he's in it to win it, and he's it's not like he's in it to make oodles of money. I can tell he does well, which is good. But he also is doing well and not disconnected from the people that he serves through Defiant. Yeah, exactly. So remember, Mike, you and I, we were talking before we got on the air about authenticity.
Yes.
And you said a really nice thing, and I appreciate that you said that.
Okay.
You're a very authentic individual. Mm-hmm. It's like we're the honey badgers. We really don't give a shit. But that being said, there's other people that can also do that and also hold down a really, really nice establishment. And I perceived that in Neil. He's just honest and outgoing and fun-loving.
I would say that his authenticity is why he was able to have his establishment for 2 decades.
Right.
Although the bartending workforce is traditionally transient, if you look at it from a place of you're helping out your friends and citizens and neighbors and relatives and all that kind of stuff, then what happens is those people kind of flow in and out. And when they are done being a bartender, they come back as part of your community circle, and they're buying beverages from you. Right. They just hop on the other side of the bar. And the cool part, again, I've been in and around Defiant since its conception, but the amount of people who came back to guest bartend on that day was astounding.
Yeah, guest bartending is all the rage. Actually, town of Stony Point supervisor Amy Conklin-Stam for the Stony Point Seals, when they announced that they donated $105,000 to 3 local families with children with medically fragile conditions. Mm-hmm. Amy Conklin-Stam, she was a guest bartender over at Fireside for that event.
And did you order a drink from Amy Conklin-Stam?
I actually didn't. We sat down and I didn't. I feel bad now. I feel bad.
I just wanted to know she was. I just want to know she was a good bartender.
You broke it, Tom.
See, it was my turn.
Like proudly announcing, and then you're like, "Well, did you do anything other than that?"
Speaking of elected officials, Tom, you have a segment every week about elected officials. Who have you talked to in most recently?
Well, yesterday we had to take a bit of a mulligan because we had to head over to an event in the later part of the afternoon. So we had the week before.
Okay.
We had Town Supervisor George Holman.
He likes to come on the air.
As well as Howard Phillips.
Oh, Howie Phillips.
Yeah. So we did have them on last week. We didn't have any government events this week that we had on the air. We did have yesterday a new segment called Financial Matters.
Okay.
And that was headlined by, I did myself, and I also had a colleague, Joseph Barada, JB Barada Realty, located in Westchester. and he hopped on and he talked about the market in general.
Okay.
I have a few friends that are moving.
I want to pause that and circle back to this, and then we can right back.
Yeah.
Listeners, if you have any questions for any of our elected officials, and you either don't feel like they'll be answered by you, or you want somebody else to ask them, Tom is the person to ask them. Please send us your questions at rocklandnews.com/alert.
Yes, exactly. So Joe just got on, and he's also a teacher over at Westchester Community College, I believe. One of the colleges in Westchester, and he was talking about the market. Now, a few of my friends are looking for new homes to live. They're upgrading, which is cool. So I wanted to start off the show by looking at a very, very important issue that affects Rockland County, which is housing supply,
which we are in dire need. We are busting at the seams, as they say, right?
Yeah, like, when we had on another government episode, Joseph Rand from Nyack,
who happens to be the mayor and is running for an office.
Yeah, he's running for New York State Senate District 38 against current Senator Bill Weber. So that's going to be playing out once the nominations are in, and we might be getting a debate together. I don't know.
I was going to ask if they accepted our invitation to debate on air.
It's a surprise for one of them that I should, now that we've announced it on the air, I should get that out to him so that it's all equal and there's plenty of time to prepare. But yeah, we already have ascertained Fieldstone Middle School as the place for New York State District 38 debate. Now, if they accept or they decline, that's okay.
But we want to offer this because we want to be the voice of Rockland. We would like there to be a lot of fair play, and we want Rockland County citizens to be more involved in the decision making of their place, because that's the only way we're going to make this place better, is for everyone to actually have a voice.
Exactly. So, and we had Joe on the show, like I mentioned, and he talked about financial matters, and we're still lacking inventory in Rockland County in terms of residential housing. So Joseph Rand was on the show several weeks ago, and he talked about the stat that he mentioned last year is like we're down 7,000 housing units.
What does that mean?
It means that you got to build a lot more houses.
And that's only because our population is growing.
Correct.
Right? We are having this place where people are not moving out, and we're having more and more people. Okay.
Yeah. Rand also happened to be on, as we're talking about governmental things, he was talking about last week, he was talking about there was an altercation over at the Nyack Library.
An altercation?
Yes. I'm going to read this off because...
Criminal?
Correct. A 19-year-old Haverstraw man has been charged following an altercation reported earlier this month inside the Nyack Library. I'm actually going to redact the name because he's 19 years old. This is my choice.
Yeah, go ahead.
Some dude named Dylan. Orangetown police said Dylan blank was arrested March 17th after an investigation into a March 13th incident at the library on North Broadway. He faces charges including second-degree assault, attempted second-degree assault, and first-degree menacing. Police said the victim suffered head injuries, while library officials said the injury initially reported to staff appeared minor and involved a facial abrasion. So it sounds like it was a fist fight.
So
something like that.
Someone was throwing down in the book section.
Yeah, which is ironic.
Yeah.
That Alanis Morissette would call that ironic.
She would indeed.
Yeah.
But I guess the words failed him, so he just went to his last resort.
Yeah. It's like
it is unfortunate. The library is for information, not for fighting.
Exactly.
I guess for fighting with information. Maybe that's what he misunderstood fighting with information as to pick up a book and smack someone in the face.
So Dylan was arraigned in Nyack Justice Court and remanded to the Rockland County Jail. As in all criminal cases, the charges are allegations, and the defendant is presumed innocent unless proven guilty. Now, the thing that I find interesting about this, and I don't know what happened, obviously.
Right, we weren't there.
We're reporting what we know. It's actually interesting. I'm curious, like, from the police report standpoint and what happened. Obviously, you should never get into a fight. Right. Even karate teaches that you avoid fights until you fight. So I don't know what happened here. But if it was a fist fight, as an
Mhm.
example, between two people that consented to the fight, and that's what
Right.
I'm not sure about.
Because Tom,
If
you
they
have
consented
consented
to
to
the
many a
fight,
fight, but you do it for charity. And you know
Dude.
what? I applaud you when you get your feathers ruffled by somebody and you want to challenge them to fisticuffs. You don't just do it from a place of fisticuffs. You make it a spectacle, and the money you generate, you donate to all sorts of causes. And I want to say that because there's different ways to give back to the community, right?
That's, by the way, the song from Gangs of New York when they're about to fight.
You're such a gangster, Tommy. He's
But
wearing
keep
the Stony
going.
Point seals. No, what I want to say to the citizens is that there's lots of ways to give back. Like you can join your local firehouse, you can join the soup kitchen, you could do a polar bear plunge with a Stony Point seal or
That's
a
right.
Nyack penguin. Um, there's lots and lots and lots of
There's
ways
more
to give
than one
back.
penguin, by the way. It's not just one Nyack penguin. There's
Oh,
multiple
I'm sorry,
penguins.
Nyack penguins.
Sorry.
I dropped my S.
I apologize.
Plural.
That was menacing of me.
What is a group of penguins called?
A penguin pledge pin pack.
No, I don't think so.
A penguin pack.
A penguin. I don't think it's a pack of penguins.
It sounds like you put like a whole bunch of penguins in like a plastic packaging, and it's like, here are your penguins.
You broke me twice. Wow. Tommy's on his game today. He actually broke
So are
himself
you.
though.
So are you.
Anyway, I was talking about citizens being giving back more. All of these small businesses that we talk about, all of the things that we talk about, all these services, they're all to make us a better community. And the tighter we are, the more we know one another, the safer we're going to be as a community, the more information we can exchange, which also makes us safer.
Yes.
And it's a much easier to feel safe if you know who your neighbor is.
Right.
And one of the cool things about Rockland County having so many cultures here is there's a lot of information. There's a
Right.
lot of stories. There's a lot of parables. There's a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And if we open our minds just a little bit, you might learn something really cool. And at the next time you're at the bar, or you're at Pearl River Pizza getting the slice, you can be like, "Did you hear that in 1066 there was a battle of Hastings?" You know, you're pulling out stuff that, all right, it may not help you balance your checkbook or get you across a bridge, but it's fun stuff. And part of living is having the fun stuff like music, like art.
Yeah. And
historic
music's
sites.
where it's at for me.
Music's where it's at for a lot of people. And we see this in all sorts of media, even if you're a screen hound, regardless of what you're watching on it, right? Whether it's video games or shows or memes, the sound makes a difference.
Without a doubt. And I felt so comfortable at the St. Patrick's Day parade that we both attended. And you can check out the interview with Neil from Defiant Brewery. It's on rocklandnews.com. And you and I didn't connect until later on in the day. So you were doing your thing.
Right.
I was, and I'll turn it over to you because I want you.
You were on the other side of the tracks.
Yeah, well, yeah, not
literally.
Even, yeah, but my pal Aiden, shout out to Aiden. He actually brought his pickup truck the night before and put it in like the parking lot by ShopRite and whatnot, and then invited friends to hang out, just basically back of the pickup truck sort of style. And we had some libations safely, but the music that basically came down the avenue, I'm not even into Irish music, but just the sounds of mirth and glee and joy
People are having a good time.
Amazing. Like I wanted to put a kilt on.
You know what? I want to give a shout out to two safety groups. One of them is Pearl River PD, and the other one is Metro PD. There were a lot of them there, and they were keeping everybody safe. I saw there didn't seem to be anybody hassling anybody. There were no extra cops there. They were just the people doing the things in their jurisdiction that they were supposed to be doing, keeping everybody safe, keeping everybody happy.
Very true. Thanks.
And I
Shout
want
out to the PD.
And that goes back to a point that Ed Day made a few weeks ago. Is since he's taken over as county executive, Rockland County is one of the safest places to live.
Yeah,
from a
former
place
New
of
York City detective. So
right. So, and it's not that we don't break laws, not that people are not infracting things, but we are seeing less of the things that people have an issue with police. We're seeing less of that in Rockland County. So I applaud Ed Day and all the police departments for following the law and doing the right thing and being good community members.
absolutely.
Which is kind of the point, right? One of the reasons why I feel relatively safe walking around Haverstraw, regardless of the danger level, is I know most HPD were born here. They're from Rockland County, and these are their neighbors.
Right, exactly.
So,
good stuff.
Rockland County, don't harass the cops. They're just doing their job, and they're probably somebody's neighbor that you know.
Most deaf, man. Most deaf. I have one more news item, but before we get into this, what was the atmosphere from your perspective? Because we met up and interviewed Neil toward the end of the day.
Yeah.
What was the atmosphere at Defiant?
There was a lot of bittersweet.
Uh-huh.
There was a lot of faces there that were excited to come out and join Neil in celebrating. But there was a lot of sadness because this is the last week of Defiant, which is our oldest craft beverage manufacturer. Neil's been, this is his second brewery in Rockland County. He used to work over in Suffern. He built the, what's it called? Mountain Valley Brew Pub. So who knows where Neil will go? I hope he stays in Rockland. I hope everyone who has loved Defiant can be able to follow his brand, because he's a really focused on the community.
Most
really
deaf. Yeah, absolutely.
Really great guy.
Yeah, it was really, I didn't get a chance to spend much time over there because we were over hanging out with Aiden and crew. But I really, when I walked in, I could tell they had a band in the background.
They did. They were great.
Irish themed band.
Yep.
And it was very festive. I will say that I got my heart dropped when I saw the wall.
It's funny. I never really paid attention. Oh, that wall. There's a wall. The first set of wall, there's a section of the wall that's all signed. And that's the part where my heart's sinking, because like in a week, that's just going to get painted over.
I know.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas the wall you're speaking of, and you and I touched on this in a prior show, where
we were fair.
What happens when your business has to get smaller? They don't really talk about that. How do you turn the ship that you've been cruising to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and reduce your footprint and reduce your costs when it's a production level thing? You're trying to do all sorts of space improvements. So Neil is in that place of, well, he has to get so small, he has to start again somewhere. From what I understand, Neil is not done making beer. He is not done helping out in the craft beverage industry. So I wish him luck, and I hope he will tell us first when the exciting news happens of wherever else he lands, so we can announce it on air before anybody else. I hope so.
We might have some information on that. We might not have some information on
that. I have no information.
In the words of Matthew McConaughey from Wolf of Wall Street, it's a woozy, it's a wazi, it's a fugazi.
Who's being woo-woo?
Something like that.
Drinking woo-woos?
Well, all I know is if Neil comes back, and I got the sense that
it's when Neil comes back.
He ain't done. He ain't done.
He told us that he's not done. He has told me he's not done.
Okay.
So when he comes back, the question is, where will he come back
exactly to? And if I don't know, Mike, I think we're going to have to sit on this information like we usually do until it's time.
And as I do, Tom, if you listeners, if you citizens have a business that you are in the process of building and you want it announced, or you need help with things like websites or web development,
Tom,
Do we know a company that does some web development?
That's right. Rockland Web Design, located in Stony Point, New York, can help you with all your web development needs. You can get a big website, you can get a small website, you could get a website in between, you could get a retail e-commerce website, you can get an event-driven website, you can get a video production website, and you can get your website starting at just $799. Does that sound like a lot? Think about the work that goes into hosting, designing, videoing.
I have no idea. It sounds like thousands of hours.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And there's a team of literally about 15 people that can customize your website to exactly your specifications. Bring the design and the dream out of your brain and onto the web page with Rockland Web Design. And you can learn more about them at rocklandsweb.com. So much going on.
And that's one of the things I talk to people about when I'm out and about in Rockland, is that every time I start talking to folk, I find out more and more and more hidden gems about our lovely county. I have lived here for most of my life, and I have been very Rockland centric for most of my life, and I'm discovering stuff every single day.
Yeah.
Whether it's through you, Tom, whether it's through my kids, whether it's through other friends. And this word of mouth thing needs to still happen. This face-to-face, this meeting at the bar or the coffee shop or the pizzeria needs to continue, because that is what makes us strong as a community.
Exactly. And, even being out yesterday, I went to a networking meeting with a friend of mine, and I was subbing for Tom Brady, who is
Not that Tom Brady.
Yeah. He's Tom Brady. He's got a sports performance coaching business. As a matter of fact, you know what? He gave me a commercial to read off. I'm actually going to read it off.
Read the commercial.
So Tom, in addition to him being the sportscaster for our new Rockland News segment, All Things Sports, he also gave us a script to read at a local meeting, because I really believe in what he's doing. Movement and, just personal fitness is an important part of anyone's life journey. So Tom Brady, with Strategic Health and Performance, he's an independent contracted strength and conditioning coach, personal trainer, and holistic lifestyle coach. His ideal client is someone looking for a healthier life, ages 8 to 80. He works with most demographics in Rockland County, basically travel and everything like that. Trains in person in Rockland and Bergen counties, and he does coaching sessions via Zoom. And his motto is improve your health to enjoy your wealth. You can find him on, let me just see if I can bring up that Tom Brady. I got to find his email address. One moment, please. Come on.
While Tom is looking for that, I also want to remind folk that it is important to eat well. And part of eating well is about finding fresh vegetables. And the best way to do that in today's rising prices is to plant a garden. I am a big advocate of us growing our own food and victory gardens. Have you found that email yet? Or shall I go on about how you should eat well while you are using Tom Brady's service?
I was admittedly enthralled on what you said. Just, if you want to get in touch with Tom Brady, contact us and we'll get you in touch with him. I have his email address for golf, because he does golf training as well. tjbgolftrainer@yahoo.com. I don't know if I was supposed to put that out there, but I'll just trust that. And anyway, you can reach out to him. Sports performance coaching, and also he's going to be on our All Things Sports thing podcast on Fridays.
All right.
Yes.
Now, folks, you know what we haven't talked about? I mean, we've touched on a few of them. We have not listed the rest of our lovely sponsors, like Yabu Fence.
That's right.
Or Dana Pest Control. Who else we got, Tom?
We got the New York Boulders baseball team.
They put the rock in Rockland.
Pomona, New York. And they are doing their 15th baseball season. They have synthetic turf now, so they can also do more events. Their season tickets are available at nyboulders.com. We also have the Work Smart New York Business Boot Camp. Mike, I think I've been alluding to this for several weeks now, but another item highlighted that we've talked about, there's a business boot camp that's scheduled for the end of April. Organizers said that the program is designed to help business owners become more effective and efficient, and that this year's programming will include a focus on artificial intelligence. The event marks the return of a program that has been on hiatus for 2 years, and it's aimed at supporting local business development and workforce training. And we are going to be there as well. As you know, Mike, I'm an author. I've done 2 books. One is called How to Program Your Life, and the second is 30 Days to a Better Brand.
Okay.
This is something that we've done before. And I find that for the people that participated, and breakfast is served, it's at a local hotel or a local establishment, and you get to do like that breakfast and learn format where you sit, and it's not just informational. We aim for it to also be motivational.
And I want to tag one of our other sponsors into that, because we used to do a lot of that when I worked over at RCC Havistra, and the person, the place that provided all of the breakfast for that was Whole Shot Bagels.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right. So, I mean, they are award winning now, but they are also up for best bacon, egg, and cheese. Right.
Yeah.
Go check them out. Clever and Victoria, they're lovely people. Tell them we said hi, Mike and Tom. I believe Clever said something about some sort of free something.
Correct. If you mention Rockland's news when you come in, you get a free bagel.
I mean, you really should try. And he has a new invention. It's called a super seed bagel.
Oh, really?
Like, I have been eating bagels my whole life. My family is from Brooklyn. We know what bagels are. Seeds inside the bagel and out. Oh my God. Go check them out. Whole Shot Bagels.
Without a doubt.
They even do catering, especially in Havistra. I believe Clever has gone up and done stuff all over the county, and maybe even into Orange County as well.
And we have an interview with Whole Shot Bagels, Clever and Victoria. They hopped on about 2 weeks ago, and they talked about the 8-year journey that they've had in order to build up the shop. Funny thing that happened, and not funny, but basically, just a little bit of time after they set up, a car went through the front of the shop.
That's the 8 years you're talking about, because they actually took over in 2013.
2013, okay.
Right.
Okay, so it's a while ago.
Right.
13 years.
Yeah. They've been in that place, and they have built it up and built it up and built it up, and it's really a great place. They have all sorts of different food. Very like we were talking about with Pearl River Pizza. It's a really warm, inviting place. There's tables to sit in. Most of it's set up for takeout, but there's a lot of choices and a lot of options, but there's a lot of home cooking into it. You know what I mean? Where this isn't a lot of buy, sell, package stuff. Clever's making all of this food.
Dig it. We got a whole bunch of other sponsors. Actually, Ilana sent me a whole bunch of spots that we're going to be producing.
Oh, yeah?
But we got Yabu Fence Company,
We mentioned
Dana Pest Control, Easy Temp for all your ice machine repairs, located in Hackensack, New Jersey. And they can help with commercial refrigeration, deli displays, things like that. You can learn more at easytemp.net. We mentioned Kobe Sushi and Whole Shot Bagels. You mentioned Rockland's News, and you get a deal in each particular space. Susan Bova from Coldwell Banker Realty. She's been with us for like about a year or so, but we know her for like about 10, 15 years. She actually helped my mom with a real estate transaction. Wonderful person. 99 signs. Mike, damn it.
A sign without a business.
A business without a business without a sign.
It's a sign of no business.
It's a sign of no business. It was
we broke ourselves on that one.
Yeah,
this is
moment.
We just keep this is the show of breakings.
But look, check it out. If you
We're
need
Breaking Bad,
a digital sign in front of your establishment, if you
or a
need
banner,
a billboard, a banner, lawn signs, any sort of signs.
Hey, it's spring. There's going to be farmers markets, right? Any of you guys putting up tents? 99 Signs is the place for you.
And print it. And they also got connections with really great promotional companies as well.
And also, listeners, if you mention us, please do, because we want to go back to our sponsors. We want them to know that this whole process is working. So if you go into 99 Signs and said, I heard about you with Mike and Tom being all crazy in the morning, it helps us do the right thing by going and getting those sponsors that are most helpful to you. Yeah. And that's the other thing, listeners. If you have a business and you would like to hear your business from our mouths over the internets, you can sponsor us at
rocklandnews.com/advertise. And you can see our statistics right there. 590,000 page views of the 600 stories that we did last year. Also, our live stream that you're listening to right now, you're not the only one listening. There's also, on average, anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 other people listening right now. Mike, that's a community.
Right. And again, 61 cents of every dollar will stay in the community because we're buying and supporting local
businesses. Exactly. If you're in Rockland, we want to support you, and hopefully you'll support the local economy. Plus, we have a newsletter that goes out to at least 6,500 people every single week. It's called the Rockland's newsletter.
And folks, this is not just like a flatline thing. We are looking towards the future. We want to be the voice of Rockland. We want to connect all of you, and we want to lead you not from a place of elected official, but from a place of spiritual goodness of peoples, regardless of religion, color, creed, or any of that stuff. We want you all to be a strong community of Rocklanders because we live here and we want it to be strong.
We want to be the Pied Pipers, but without heading toward a cliff.
Pipers is good because you know what? You can turn Pipers into a rock band, and we can put the rock back in Rockland, like at Rockland Music Fest at Boulder Stadium.
Yes, that was awesome last year, and we started talking about Rockland Music Fest 12.
That's amazing.
So more details coming out in April. There's a few other things that we have to shore up first, but more announcements forthcoming. And speaking of pipes, if there's something that you need to fill in your pipe, there's 202 Cannabis.
Oh, that kind of pipe.
Yeah. Now, I don't know about this cannabis thing.
That's a lie now.
Okay. All right. That's true.
That's a lie. You have to amend your story because you were on the air in there.
So what do you want me to say? I'm intellectually curious about cannabis?
No, you
doesn't have
to
the
say
same ring to
you
it.
used to not know nothing.
Yeah.
But now you have been educated.
Isn't that like Mitch Hedberg? I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to too.
Kind of.
Yeah. So
Tom, who has been to the 202 Cannabis.
I have been to the top of the mountain.
He has asked the questions about the Great Reefer Madness.
Yes. Yeah.
And he has now been informed about 202 Cannabis and its drive-through.
That's right. Cannabis dispensary that has a drive-through.
They have an app for that.
It's amazing.
It is. So, folks, go check out your local businesses like 202 Cannabis. Well, who else we got on the list?
Well, we got FZ Perfection Auto Body Repair located in Congers. That's Frank. Yeah. And quite frankly, he is an amazing individual that can help make your Ford Pinto look like a Ferrari.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
does he have like holograms or something?
Well, is it like the special paint?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it could really make a car look like really fancy.
So if you are a car guy and you want the exterior of your car to look amazing, FC Perfection's the place to go.
You can also get rid of dings. If you get into a serious accident, they can also bang the frame and the car back into like the working shape that it should be safely. You can also work with insurance companies to make sure that what is done on the car is covered.
All right.
And then we have Clean Space Maintenance Management Company. Spring is a sprung, Mike.
So it's time for spring cleaning. Get your junk out. They are a junk removal place.
Exactly. Anytime you need to get stuff out of your house, Tony D'Elia can bring the truck with the flatbed in the back. No, it's not a flatbed. It's like a trailer. It's like a huge like dump thing that you could just throw things into. Right. He also has staff that can help remove the stuff from your house. Or if you're going to do it yourself, that's great.
I would like to say this as respect to our sponsors. Please call Dana Pest Control and then call Clean Space.
Right, yeah, because you don't want like stuff in the,
You don't want your creepy crawlies. That's just gross for everybody. Let Dana Pest Control take care of the creepy crawlies.
Yeah, or an old TV. Like
old TV goes to Clean Space, man. Maybe.
Exactly.
But we don't want the mice in there.
Right.
Anyway.
We also got Fiesta Acapulco, the Stony Point Pancake Factory. There. Cinco de Mayo. There's a party there.
Where?
Over at Fiesta Acapulco.
Cinco de Mayo on May 5th.
Correct. So that is going to be, I'm just looking at the calendar here. That's Tuesday, May 5th.
Now, Fiesta Acapulco is on 9W?
Correct. In Stony Point. And Juan over there.
Right across the street from my dear
I know.
Fiesta Cancun
Fiesta
site
Cancun.
because the building is no longer there. You can't even walk on the property right now.
I'll tell you, that place was epic, man. I
It
went to a
was.
Cinco de Mayo. We were probably at the same event. There
Yeah.
was a Cinco de Mayo
That place was huge.
backyard overlooking, like, the mountains in
Oh,
the
yeah,
background,
yeah.
and they had a Cinco de Mayo party there that was just off the charts and safe too.
Those guys
Safe.
really knew how to party, though.
Yep, exactly.
So anyway, Fiesta Acapulco
yeah, Fiesta-
on May 5th.
yeah, Cinco de Mayo. So mark your calendars for that. We also have some stuff for May the 4th be with you, which is coming up.
All right.
On
And while we're waiting for that, all of the craft beverage places in Rockland County, such as District 96 with Burger Loft,
yeah,
Noble Experiment down in West Nyack.
mhm.
You have a week left to get your precious memories of Defiant and memorabilia.
That's right. That's happening this weekend.
I'm sure if you
now
want,
is that the final weekend, like for sure?
I think it depends on how fast people drink all of Neil's beer because it was going pretty quick.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm
So
sure
there's demand.
I'm sure if you want a piece of the brewery, he'll sell it to you for whatever price. But
Exactly.
if you see a white bearded dude with a grimace or a smile, it's probably Neil. He's approachable. Just say, "Hey, I heard about you from Mike and Tom. Is there any beer left? I want to try some." And
Yeah,
he's got beer. He'll probably pour it
He's gonna
himself.
pop up again. So we got the Stony Point Pancake Factory, Banchetto Restaurants located in Nanuet, New York. Sparkling Clean Homes, another part of this. If you need your home cleaned, get your home cleaned for just $199 during the spring cleaning sale. And all you have to do is call Alice at 845-641-3223. She's so sweet, Mike.
Yeah.
Alice is such a sweet person. And of course, the Rockland Jobs. Remember, we had mentioned Rockland Jobs.
Right.
Get a job. We will help. You go to rocklandjobs.org and you can look at all the job listings there. And you can also join our Rockland Employment Group with 15,000 people on it. So very strong community looking for jobs, supply and demand. We got it all covered. You can start your journey to gainful employment at rocklandjobs.org. And that's all of our sponsors today.
All right. Well,
that's a lot.
Citizens listeners, I would like to encourage you once again to check out these sponsors because they are your neighbors. They are Rockland County citizens. Another shout out to a dear friend of mine. This will go through a Defiant thing. My friend Ted Brown, who has supported Neil throughout most of that journey.
Mhm.
He has a cleaning company in Hackensack.
Oh, cool.
It's actually Brown's Cleaning Equipment or something along that lines.
Gotcha.
I'm going to give a shout out to him because Ted is that point person. And I was asking him after the parade about why he's successful in a business that is going more and more towards apps and websites and ordering like that. And he said that his clientele sometimes doesn't know what they're asking for. So he has a conversation with them and really gets in and gives them that personal touch. And
right.
Sometimes it's as small as he was telling me the story that there was a minimum order for delivery.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, the package you just ordered is going to cost more. He was like, you know what? I'm going over there anyway. I'm going to throw this in my car and I'm just going to hand it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about that from a place of small business and custom service and community oriented stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Ted is a Pearl River resident. They own, he and his wife Lauren own a house in Pearl River. And I just want to remind folk that although we are Rockland centric, some of these businesses and sponsors that we have are not in Rockland, but the people who live here sometimes work in Jersey or vice versa,
course,
right?
Yeah, and Orange County, and people
right.
come to Rockland to work.
We want to be kind to all of our neighbors, no matter who they are, even if it's across a state boundary.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, we don't live close enough to Canada to worry about it, but like that whole international thing, I want us all to be friendly to one another,
mm-hmm.
right? Rockland County is a melting pot. And I'm going to give a shout out to Ted and his cleaning company. If anyone needs cleaning supplies for any reason,
What's the name of it? I'll look up the website.
Brown's in Hackensack.
Brown's.
And call Ted Brown and tell him Mike sent you.
In Hackensack. I'm just looking it up. Brown's Janitorial Supply?
That is correct.
Okay.
But call them up and ask for Ted Brown. And
Yeah,
tell
so
him tell him you heard from Mike and Tom in the morning that Mike sent you.
Yeah. And just so you know, the website address is Brown's with an S. BrownsSupplies.com. I'm saying that very slowly and clearly because I always get hung up with the two S's.
Right.
So it's like Brown's Supplies.
Is there a phone number there?
There is. That's probably a lot easier. That's one of the things that I love about the audio part of it.
Right.
It's like 201-343-2616. We will send a QR code to you through this microphone right now.
And
okay, it's done.
Ask for Ted.
Yeah. So awesome. So as we wind down the show, and we typically have banter about this, that, and the other.
I mean, when did the banter stop?
Exactly.
It's just a constant banter, right?
Have a tendency to banter from time to time because we're going to close out at like about 10 o'clock. But
all right.
What's interesting is, Mike showed up today. He shows up at the studio in the morning. Special thanks to Mike here.
Who, me?
Mike, yeah, you. You make the show, dude. No, you make the show. You make the show.
I encourage you to make the show.
Well, I mean, we're producing it, but we're doing our thing. And we were talking. I had so many nightmares last night, man.
About what?
It was weird. I know why this happened. I had onions yesterday for dinner. I've come to the
that sounds funny.
Every time that I have onions, I have like these crazy nightmares, man.
Which I mentioned just before about having a good diet. And I am over the age of 50. I am told by many folk that I do not look my age. And I think part of it is my diet. And part of it is because I go out and garden. I consume a lot of fresh vegetables, lots of herbs. And I want to encourage people to go outside, go to use our recreational parks, our green spaces, our athletic stuff, and eat better.
Mm-hmm.
I know Cornell Cooperative Extension does a lot of programs, but sometimes it's just you go to the local places like Van Houten Farms, ask for Heather, and start your porch garden, start a deck garden, get a plant that makes mosquitoes go away so you can go outside more and just enjoy that, right? Because spring is coming.
Spring has sprung.
And I have been noticing all of my little really early spring plants pushing up. And it's starting to feel really good, Tom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm feeling it too. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, and onions. Onions are definitely
Don't eat onions early or you'll get nightmares like Tom. Tom just saw something. He's very upset about something.
I just saw something, dude.
Saw something.
Remember that video tool? They're shutting it down. Sora from OpenAI. Son of a...
Tom is upset that the evil overlords were shut down. The gun was taken away from the baby.
Fill in the space.
The gun was taken away. I've been telling you folks that this is how we get Terminators. And I am thankful that some of humanity realized that we cannot have evil AI. I'm joking, folks. Tom is very distraught. He really is. I find it very humorous because I am not a fan of
Baby with a gun,
especially because we have things outside of Rockland that are doing very horrible things around the world. We're not focused on that. We're focused on Rockland. I'm just trying to say that kind of stuff makes me a little unhappy because it does affect Rockland. Because I hate the fact that gas prices are like pushing $4.
Yeah,
that's terrible. Even in our fine county of Rockland County. Now,
I'm not even going to bring up this art, and I'm sorry to those of you that were listening, and all of a sudden you heard no in slow motion, but basically I'm not going to talk about it because it's not Rockland's news, so I'll deal with this afterwards. See, I'm telling you, Mike, the onions knocked me for a loop last night.
Maybe you need Rockland grown onions. You know where you can get some?
Where?
At Conklin's, at Dr. Davies, and Cropsies.
Okay.
right? Or you could go to Cornell Cooperative Extension and ask them what the best onion seed is to throw in your yard and grow your own.
Definitely. I mean, I'm just amazed.
For those who have heavy allergies, it's said that
Mhm.
if you can get the most local honey and you consume that honey with a local clove of garlic every single day, it will help not only your inner chi and your healthiness, but it helps with your allergies
I think I'm gonna have garlic tonight.
instead of onions.
Yeah, dude.
Last
night was rough.
it's all
I got
allium to
up.
me.
I got up at around 2 o'clock in the morning, just like, all right. Now my thing is, and I don't wish, like, when you stack the deck, if you're an entrepreneur and you're listening to the show, when you stack the deck very heavily with your workload, there's a lot of fears that come into play. I'm actually reading a book
Anxieties.
called Only the Paranoid Survive by Andy Grove, who was the former CEO of Intel. And he says, it's tongue in cheek. It's like you got to be aware of, like, existential threats that could threaten your business. But there's always the concern, especially when you're employing. I employ 20 people at this point through Rock Web Systems, and it's sometimes I wake up and I worry and I worry. So I remember what I did. It was like I have a process for this. Is I get up, I go into, and Mike, you've been to the TV room over here. All right.
Your viewing space.
Yes, the theater, whatever
Yes.
have you.
Yes.
And just sat down, played 4 rounds of Gran Turismo, the driving game.
Okay. You drove it out?
Yes, I drove it out.
All right.
I drove out the worries.
So there's
Which is ironic.
There's lots of ways to get rid of your anxiety. There's lots of ways to do that don't cost imaginary fuel. All right. We have these green parks. People should go check them out. Go sit by the river. Go hiking around Rockland Lake. Go listen to music at any number of places like Kobe Sushi.
Exactly. And we're going to be there tonight, man.
Right. So citizens, listeners, we want you to be healthy of mind, body, and spirit. Part of that health is building a healthy community, and that's what Tom and I are trying to do.
Exactly.
If you have any questions, reach out to us at rocklandnews.com
/alert.
I
think we got it.
I think we got it. Is there anything else we should talk about today, Tom? Is there anything that we want our listeners to do before the next time they tune in to us?
Be kind to one another.
I think that's an excellent message. If you are abundant, give to those who are scarce. Absolutely.
It's was that movie Lord of the Rings. I remember what was the guy's name? Is not Legolas. What was the head dude?
Elrond?
Not Elrond. The dude that was hooking up with Steven Tyler's daughter.
Aragorn?
Aragorn. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was thrown off because, like, originally his name was Strider, but then his actual name was Aragorn. And he said this to himself, I think, in that movie. I leave all the hope for the world. I leave none for myself. Now, let's face it, and even I suffer from this, is we can get selfish at times. We could just be all about me, 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 mini me, stop humping the laser, me, 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 me. That being said, there is a wider picture here.
Yes.
Like, for instance, the comprehensive plan. So what I would encourage people to do is, in your endeavor to be more kind to those around you, take a look at the comprehensive plan. It's not an easy read, and we're going to break it down piece by piece on rocklandsnews.com. But it will give you a good idea of where the county is aiming to go over the next 10 years. But here's the important thing. You can participate in this process. If you go to envisionrockland.com, you can actually participate in the process so that you can have a stake in Rockland's future. And you can do it by being kind to each other. Figure out from your perspective what will be good for the community around you.
Plant some seeds of hope.
Absolutely. I figure that's a good way to end the show. What do you think, Mike?
Plant some seeds of hope is a great way. Alana, take us out.
You're listening to Rockland News, available on Apple, Spotify, and online at rocklandnews.com. Thanks for joining us today. Here are your hosts, Tom Osa, and Mike Kluger.
And we'd like to thank our sponsors one more time. The New York Boulders baseball team, Work Smart New York Business Boot Camp coming up in April. Yahoo! Want to do the next three?
Dana Pest Control, Easy Temp, Kobe Sushi with their jazz music. Maybe we should play it. No,
we should not.
No. We may go live, but we will not play, although Kobe Sushi and anyone else sponsor band.
Yeah.
So as I go down, Whole Shot Bagels.
And I'm going to cut you off right when this ends, wherever it is. So Whole Shot Bagels, Susan Bova, 99 Signs.
FC Perfection, Clean Space Management, Rockland Music Fest, 202 Cannabis, Fiesta Acapulco.
That's it.